Welcome back, MHD TV. My name is Lexis, aka LA, aka Lex, and we have our lovely guest here today who I will let her introduce herself.
Hey everybody, I'm Lee.
Give us a little bit about Lee.
Oh boy, I live here in Milford. I got 3 awesome sons, a bunch of kids that I may not have given birth to, but I feel like they're my kids just the same. I met you guys at UMass. I think what you do is spectacular and unbelievable, so I'm going to be here every single time you call.
Oh, we love that. One of our biggest supporters. Okay, are you ready for our
Always,
affirmation?
always.
Rise and shine, it's affirmation time. To your right, you have your affirmation card, and I'll let you go first.
Oh, this is a good one. What steps do I take to redirect my thoughts when they descend into negative territory?
Ooh, do you want to answer that?
That's a good one, yeah. I had a job interview yesterday and we actually talked about that stuff because some of the jobs I do are like pretty intense and you need to like have a really good toolbox on how to take care of yourself.
Right.
And so I'm like a nut about music and have figured out how to implement music every single time. Like if I'm starting to feel some sort of way, there's certain music I'll listen to. I'll take a walk. I love nature. I like to ride my bike, but right now I can't.
Right.
But like I'll read a book. I do anything and everything to kind of reframe that thought into something better.
That's amazing that you found a way to help yourself without doing like the most, but just doing something simple like going for a walk, finding your favorite playlist for certain moods.
Yeah.
Like that's something simple that we could all do.
I have a playlist called My Brain. And so when I'm like in that place where things feel kind of like they're going south,
Right.
it's all like uplifting music and kind of messages to myself that like things are going to be okay.
Right.
So yeah.
Right, because those negative thoughts, they're going to come and
They
go, but we need to know how to handle them. And for you, it's like, okay, maybe it took you a couple of hours beforehand to get through that mood, but now you've figured out all these coping skills where it maybe takes you minutes or 20 minutes or an hour, but it's less than the time than before. And
you also have to like recognize what's coming and so, and validate it and respect it. Okay, I'm feeling this way. But I want to understand it, I want to feel it, and then I want to move on from it. Because the more you pretend that you're fine, and you're not, it's coming. No matter what, it's going to be like, well, I'm here. So if you understand what's upsetting you and then do things to kind of change the way that you respond to it, each time that you get upset about stuff, it's easier to get through.
100%. And emotions are like a roller coaster. You never know what you're going to feel that day.
Never. Like, never. What's yours say?
My affirmation says, I am beautiful inside and out.
I love it, and yes, you are.
Oh, and you are too. My question says, what does beauty mean to me? In what ways am I beautiful?
How come I only had a question?
You have an affirmation.
Oh,
yes. No, you read your affirmation because we missed out.
Oh, because I got a question, not an affirmation.
It's okay.
No, I have only questions.
Questions are on this side, affirmations are on the back.
Oh, girl. I have power over my mind.
Oh, I love that.
Perfect.
I love that.
Look, it works.
If you don't control your mind, someone else will.
Yeah.
The media will. Social media will.
Oh, don't get me started.
I know. I know. You wake up and the first thing you go on is Instagram. Social media is controlling your mind and how you kind of set your day and your tone for that way. Ready to get into some more questions?
Absolutely.
Okay. What are your strengths? How do you use them to benefit yourself and others?
Oh boy, I think my biggest strength is just the amount of compassion I have. And I have to, and over time I had to teach myself to have compassion for myself first.
Right.
You know, like someone taught me, you know, when you're in the airplane and the oxygen mask comes down, and if you don't put it on yourself first, how can you help anyone else? And so if I'm not giving myself compassion, but I'm giving it to everyone else in the world, I'm not doing anything good for me, but I'm just giving to everyone else. So I've learned to just have compassion for myself, and it allows me to be way more compassionate with other humans. And I think the way the world is, we've forgotten how to treat one another. So
100%.
That's like the most important thing.
And you can't pour from an empty cup.
You cannot.
And the more you fill up your cup, the more you can give out. But you also want to make sure that you're giving people a healthy drink and not a toxic drink either.
Very nicely put.
I got a whole analogy.
I'm gonna high five you on that one because that was good. I like that one.
I got a whole analogy on a tree we can get into. Okay. That's a later time.
We'll do our own show.
We'll do our own side show. What is a recent mistake you've made, and how did you forgive yourself?
Oh boy,
this is a really good question.
That's a hard one too. Listen, like I have a really busy life, and I think, you know, unfortunately, sometimes when I have like a really hard day or a bad day, one of the children that walks by might get snapped at because, you know, like I'm not really mad at them because the house is messy.
Right.
They need to help me, but I'm upset about something else. And when they walk by, I'm like, why didn't you do this today?
Right.
And so that happened with one of my sons, and I called him after and I was like, I'm really sorry, like, and he's like, it's okay. And I'm like, it's not okay. Like, I wasn't really upset with you and I shouldn't have snapped on you for something that you said you were gonna help me with anyways. And so we were able to discuss it and talk about it. And so I think, you know,
that's huge.
It's
you
huge,
pushed your ego out of the way to apologize and say, hey, I was wrong.
I was wrong, even though he's my child, but I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that to him. And I think that helps also to rebuild and mend relationships.
Right,
so.
and not even in the sense that you were wrong, because you totally are right, but you were both right in the sense there's a way to go
I think the delivery was wrong.
Yes,
and so that was my fault.
Yeah, but now we learn from it, and now we know.
And then you learn from it.
Yeah, and that's also something that now your son can take from and be like, okay, this is how I want to treat my kids.
Right.
I remember how my mom came back to me, apologized, and moved on from it, and I appreciated that.
Exactly.
Setting examples.
Yeah, breaking the cycle.
Break it. Let's high five to that one. Breaking the cycle. Generational curses, done.
Done.
What does happiness mean to you?
Oh, goodness. You know, I think happiness means to me just allowing yourself to be happy with the little things. Like it doesn't, everybody's like, oh, you know, money or a house or this or that. But really, like, it's in the small moments where you find the most happiness. Like, unfortunately, I have a friend who just got diagnosed with cancer, and it's been really hard, and it's hard for her. And so I try to do what I can. And so I got to go over there. She called and said, will you come over? And I tormented her and made her watch documentaries about Lady Gaga and Pink, but it turned out to be like the sweetest times, and it was just the two of us watching the show, and then we realized like how much Lady Gaga and Pink had to say that were so powerful and so helpful for her to hear as well about just being a strong woman and the things that you go through that are hard. But it was that quiet moments of just the two of us hanging out, and I think that's where you find your happiness, and just the moments with the people you love, with your village and your tribe, and you know, it's just, and like I got to play football, which I've wanted to do like my entire life.
I love that.
And so I'm finally like, the kids are old enough that I can focus on doing things for myself. And so now, like the happiness is Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. running routes and, you know, but like building an even bigger village and a bigger tribe of humans that get you through your life. Because I'm a huge believer that it takes a village. And I think my kids are who they are because I have such a strong and powerful village. You know, like we have an amazing family, and then they have their family that we built. And so I think that's where you find your happiness. And
then living in those moments, not
and
thinking
living in
about
the
the
moments,
next day, but just staying in the moment, stay present.
In the moments. We never really allow us to, because we're always in a hurry or always trying to do this, that, and the other thing, because our days are filled. That's just how life is. And so it's just in the tiny, quiet moments where you're like, this is my happiness.
And appreciate it now, because in the future you're gonna be like, oh, I should have really like just been there and appreciated that moment so much. Just appreciate it.
Yeah, like I have a son who plays, well, all three of my sons play football, but when the first one played, I remember his first touchdown, I ran down the sideline. He was like 6. I ran down the sideline, he was like sobbing. And now he's at college, and last year, his like 3rd play of his college career, he ran for a touchdown. I was in the stands sobbing. So those are like the little moments of life. Like, you know, I don't think you're a parent yet, but when you're a parent, you carry this like, did I mess them up? Like, did I screw them up today? Did I set them up for life the way that I want? Right. And then in those moments you see like their dreams come to reality and you're like, oh my God, like we did it. Like, so it's in those moments, like just little moments that don't maybe someone else wouldn't see as being awesome and big, But
those little moments to him of you showing up, you showed up for that game, but then you also showed up for his college game, he's going to remember that forever too.
Yeah, and I do it for all my kids, and I try to do it for as many kids as I possibly can.
Oh, you are the show up auntie.
yeah. Half the time people are like, what are you doing here? I'm like, there's my kid playing over there.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that. That's how I want to be when I'm older too.
Yeah.
And have the time to give, to be able to be there for them and show up for them too.
Right, I go to my kids' things, and then if there's more time, I get to go to other people's things.
Right, because money isn't everything, it's just being there, seriously.
Right.
Thank you for being on the show and absolutely rocking it. Your support means everything to us. This time, you can pick out your own sticker of your choice, which you can find on our lovely website, along with apparel. Also, I'm parched. You can find this on our website too.
Yeah, I love it. I'm gonna have to get one of those.
You need to. It keeps your ice nice. Keeps your ice nice.
Oh,
okay.
I love it.
Bye, everybody.
All right, honey. You're the best.
You're the best.
That was our best one.